This is the last Friday of the holy month of Ramadan and the day of solidarity with the oppressed people in Palestine. Jerusalem is the spiritual capital of three Abrahamic religions, but it is under occupation. And the Palestinians have been suffering from occupation and oppression in the last 68 years. 37 years ago, Imam al-Khomeini Quds called the last Friday of Ramadan Yawm al-Quds, Yawm al-Mustad'afin, the day of demonstration, of opposition to oppression and injustice and occupation in Palestine. Day to condemn injustice and intimidation and ethnic cleansing. To condemn those who ignore the United Nations resolutions and international laws and regulations, and they deny the human dignity. Yes, that is an important day of support and solidarity for suffering people that not too many in this world care for them. Starting from our government, United States, that cares only for two things. When it comes to the Middle East, there are two things of interest: Israel and oil, not the Palestinians. The same thing about many Muslim and Arab governments. They don't care about Palestinians. They care about their palaces, their pleasure. And this is why, as a coordination between our government and those Arab governments and so-called Muslim governments, terrorist organizations like Al-Qaeda and Nusra and others were created. They are the ones who trained the terrorists in Turkey, in Jordan, in other places. And based on what Washington Post wrote, that the enemies are our enemies are our friends, because they oppose Syria and they oppose Iran and Lebanon and Iraq. They oppose the Shi'ia community, then they should be our friends. But that didn't go that way. In that case, even Washington Post said that the enemies of our enemies did not turn to be our friends. They became our enemies as well. But unfortunately, those who created Al-Qaeda did not learn a lesson. They call those group Al-Jaysh al-Hurr al-Suri. Yeah. It's the freedom fighters of Syria. But those freedom fighters turned to be ISIS at the end, and ended up to be in Paris, to California, to the Western world. And this is why now there is a confusion. Unfortunately, still they call them rebels. They did not learn the lesson. They realized that the same Al-Jaysh al-Suri, they joined the ISIS, but still they are called the moderate opposition to the Syrian government. What do you mean by moderate opposition? They are just rebels. And they are helping them, while this tie of friendship continues between our governments and those Arab government, Al Saud and Al Khalifa. It is one of the most shameful things that the United States, of a country of democracy and calling for freedom and human rights, having friends in this world that they are the most oppressive regime in the entire world. How come? That they are the most oppressive to women, to men, to everyone. A country that doesn't let its woman even to drive, to be the closest friend to the United States, that should be a shameful thing. A country like Al Khalifa, that they choose palaces for the rulers, but the prisons for the people. Pleasure for themselves, but pain for people. Safety and service to the rulers and oppressors, but suffering and poverty and pain for the citizens. And at the same time, they deprive people who were born in Bahrain, like an Ayatollah, Sheikh Isa, Qasim. When they bring people from Bangladesh, from India, from other places, and they hire them and they give them citizenship, but then deprive people who were born in this country, in Bahrain, from their citizenship, and put leaders like Sheikh Ali Salman, people who call for unity, for peace, for justice, for humanity, who putting these people in prison in the name of, oh, they are terrorists. When was the last time that the Shi'ia in Bahrain, they carried a bomb or had any suicide bomber against anyone? While the real terrorists are free, these people are in jail or their passports are denied. What can we do in this world of injustice, whether it's against the Palestinian or against Yemenis or anywhere in the region? What can we do to support them, at least in a moral manner, in the media manner? Because they don't have the access to the media and this freedom that we have in this country. At least we have this. How can we help those suffering people from Palestine to Pakistan, to Baghdad, to Beirut, to Sana'a, Syria, wherever they are? How can at least we can help them? There are so many ways that we can morally and media-wise mobilize ourselves and show our support. One is that in July 13, that we are going to be in Washington, D.C. in front of the Saudi embassy to condemn terrorism of the Saudis and training the terrorists and sponsoring terrorism from 9/11, from everywhere here and all over Middle East and Africa, and also for their disrespect for our shrine, whether in Baqi or in Mecca, anywhere else, that they destroyed all those spiritual sites based on the takfiri theology. To condemn that mentality of the Wahhabi and takfiri mentality. I'm not saying all the Wahhabis are takfiri, by the way, but the takfiris, they all follow the Wahhabi ideology, but not all the Wahhabis follow the takfiri techniques or tactics. So that's one thing to get together. And if you cannot go, at least financially support to pay for the buses. Some people have to fly because of their schedules. Some people go by bus. So financially to support. But also we have a mission, brothers and sisters, among our nation, fellow citizens, that they are bombed with the lies and Islamophobia and negativity about Islam and Muslim community. We at the House of Wisdom are doing this every day. in every opportunity of outreach and interfaith. But one of the most important events in July 22nd is that House of Wisdom is invited to attend one of the huge mega churches in Bloomfield. And they are going to bring 100 members of their congregation to meet with us. So let us have 40, 50 people from our community, especially those who speak English, and they are interested in dialogue and their community. We are not going there to convert them to anything. We are going there to have a dialogue and bring education and understanding. It's not about, oh, I'm good and you are bad and I'm right and you are wrong. It is about an open discussion of having appreciation for what we have and listen to one another, talk to one another, and learn from one another. So if some of you feel that you are able to contribute to this caravan on July 22nd, please leave your name and contact information with the information desk. That is very important, that this church also is involved in helping the Syrian refugees. Also, there are other ways that we can talk with the media, with the politicians to contribute awareness and understanding to the society whose majority are ignorant about our faith and they think negatively about us. We are so blessed and we are so happy that House of Wisdom is in this position. Although we don't have that much support from our community, unfortunately. I was sending the newsletter that was online, probably 5 in the morning, you receive it today. And my wife was telling me, and as she was helping me to put this thing together and send the newsletter out, she was saying, I hope that you live long enough that one day you come to this masjid and you see that things are perfect and organized and you just observe. You don't have to be worried about day and night, all these details and, you know, when that day is going to come. I said, I don't mind. You know, the life is about a struggle and life is about tests, and alhamdulillah that we are able, it makes me happy to do this service. When I was with 5 members of the Congress just a couple of days ago, David Dingle, John Conyers, Dan Kildee, Sandy Levin, Randa Lawrence, 5 members of the Congress and 4 or 5 other big organizations, representatives of big organizations from Michigan, and they wanted one faith representative. They called me to be in that conference that they want to talk about gun control, because gun control is something that people use it as Islamophobia as well. Some people use it for elections, some people for politics, some people want to make money out of that. But what does Islam say about all of this? Because when there is a violence, if it is a Muslim, all of a sudden it's about Islam. When it's Omar Mateen, has nothing to do with Islam, a gay guy, you know, going there and drinks with everyone, and now all of a sudden it becomes issue about Islam. And it's important for us as Muslim community to take all of these opportunities. And believe me when I talk that, you know, this country paid heavy price for gun violence from John F. Kennedy, Martin Luther King, Malcolm X, and millions of other good citizens of this country were killed by gun violence. It's not that I'm against gun. Gun is like anything else, right? It's a property. It's about anti-gun violence and gun crime. When we say gun control means crime control, means violence control, means terrorism control, means damage control. It is about safety, it is about security of the society. And this is something that we all should agree on, and not to politicize this. But at the same time, I used the opportunity, I said, not only control gun here in America, but I told them what I told you last week. I said, control this gun from being in the hand of Al Khalifa and Al Saud, that they are using this gun in terrorist way as well. And then I criticized this concept of no fly, no buy, because what the Democrats are saying in the Congress, that whoever is in no fly doesn't deserve to have a gun either. If no fly, no gun. And I said that I question that concept, because some innocent people might be in no fly and some criminals may not be in that list. So what about that? So we are depriving innocent people from self-defense, from exercising their constitutional right, from their First Amendment right, but then green light to criminals. So that loose should be corrected as well. And the Congress people, they did not deny that. I said, gun control is not about limiting anybody's civil rights situation. No, it is about if you have a gun, you have to be a responsible person. If somebody is sick, mentally sick, if somebody is under drugs, if somebody doesn't deserve and is not qualified to carry a gun, there should be an objective background checking so wrong people don't have access to arms. And that should be very objective. Whether he is from Muhammad or Mike, it's not that, oh, this Muhammad, we have to be very careful. Oh, this is Mike, just give him a gun. It should be objective and all details same for everyone. So it is important, brothers and sisters, for Muslims to go and raise this matter. Everybody was non-Muslim almost, except a few journalists from Sadr Watan and some other newspaper, that a few Muslim journalists. The rest of them just ordinary citizens. And it was amazing that how much they showed passion when I was talking, and even after. And now I had problem, everybody want to shake hands, right? Everybody wants to shake hands. And now our Huzat al-Ilmi and Maraj should deal with all of this issue. What do you do? Even an old American woman of 75 years old come and shake your hand, you say, no, it's haram, right? There are really challenges that we have to deal with. We have Marhum Ayatollah al-Udma Muntadari, who said that, well, the point of shaking hand, not shaking hand with a woman, is out of respect for that. But if now you have a non-Muslim woman who thinks not to shake hand as lack of respect, then you are talking about something else. If you do shaking hand out of shahwa, if you even touch this, it's haram, right? What about everybody else? I mean, if shahwa haram, you know, you are not. But if it is really a concept of dignified situation, these are issues that we have to deal with that in this country when we outreach to the rest. And I think the challenge is for you, the youth of our community. The youth of our community. If I, a sheikh who lived in Iran for 35 years, في سجون الشاه and في الثورة, and then في حرب Saddam and all of this, 35 years there, and coming in this country, and I have an opportunity to sit down next to 5 members of the Congress and having the same amount of time to talk, and everybody listens and everybody respects. That is the opportunity, brothers and sisters, that we have in this society. And if we don't use it, it's haram. That I don't care about dialogue, I don't care about talking with the Sunni, I don't care about talking with Christians or whoever. Our youth And the ways that our youth come and first strengthen our organization. Why is it the holy month of Ramadan and most of our massages are empty of the youth, and sometimes they have their occasion in the other places that's not even masjid? What happened to our organization? Do we have 100 different agenda, personal agenda or whatever, political agenda? What is our agenda as Muslim community? Our agenda should be Allah and helping one another. So the youth are our future, the future of our faith and community and country. Take your masajid seriously and be qualified, because you have opportunity. No matter how much Islamophobia, if our youth are educated, faithful, you have opportunity, you have respect, you have future. Yes. Ala bi dhikrillah tatma'innul qulub. When you are with Allah. Ala inna awliya Allah la khawfun alayhim wa lahum yahzanun. Don't be worried. If you have a relationship. I was studying a work that's been done for the last 75 years. I think they started from Harvard University 75 years ago, about human life and human situation and what makes human being happy. That was the subject. 75 years of studies came to one sentence, that happiness of humanity is about relationship. The relations that you have with your family, relations with your friends, with your neighbors, with community. The way that you handle your relationship, that is a big secret of happiness. But I would add that relationship that brings happiness and joy starts from Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. So my conclusion at the end of the last Friday of this Ramadan, especially to my sons and daughters in this audience, to my brothers and sisters, that even science says today, you are looking for a longer life, you are looking for a happier life and healthier life. Remember, first of all, life is so short. We just started Ramadan. It was like yesterday, month of Ramadan. And it is the last Friday of Ramadan. Tuesday and Wednesday, Salatul Eid. That's how short our life is. But if you want to make it a little bit longer, and happier and healthier, relationship comes first. And that starts from Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, to have good relationship with God, and then good relationship with humanity. This is why we have Yom al-Quds, and Imam al-Khomeini Quddus announced it. Other than that, we are not Palestinian. We don't live in Palestine. But we feel the suffering, and we show the sympathy and support for those who have been suffering for 68 years out of injustice and oppression and intimidation and ethnic cleansing. We care. That is about relationship, and this is what we learn from Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Let this be the resolution of this holy month of Ramadan, as we have only 2 more nights, tonight and tomorrow night, for our service, for the lectures, and I hope that at least you don't miss these last days and last nights of this holy month of Ramadan. And let us continue our dua for Mazlumin, for Mustazafin, wherever they are in this world, for Muslims and non-Muslims, for people in Middle East or Asia or Africa, Europe, and here in United States, including those people who suffered just a few days ago in West Virginia in flood. You know, it was really a huge tragedy for this nation. You remember just a couple of years ago, we had little water in the basement. Some families still not over with that, just a little water in the basement. But what happened just a few days ago, the flood was over the top roof of the houses in that area. It's a huge tragedy. 27 people lost their lives. We pray for all, and we ask Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala to guide us to the Sirat al-Mustaqim and energize us to do our duty, and especially the outreach, the 13th of July, 22nd of July, and also we have some sisters are here. Sister Fatina Adrabo talked to me. I admire this lady as a visionary and wise lady with leadership in our community, ADC director. She sent these girls here today to encourage our congregation to vote registration. They are there. Please, after the Salat, stop by at the table and talk with them. We as Muslim community need to have this outreach. Get out and vote and be part of the society and have dialogue with everyone. We have opportunity. There are so many good people. They hate us, they are negative because they do not know us. And they do not know us because we didn't do a good job. House of Wisdom is a platform to establish these bridges between us and the rest of the society. We are working on this day and night. We want your support, your time, your idea, your financial support, that inshallah we get this job done as much as we can. At the end, we go to Imam Zainul Abidin alayhi salam at the end of this holy month of Ramadan, Shahrul Siyam wa Shahrul Qiyam wa Shahrul Huda wal Furqan, and we say what Imamuna said, Allahumma wafiqna fi hada shahr ala mawaqit as-salat, wafiqna la an nasila arhamana bil birr wa sila, wa an nata'ahada jiranana bil atiyya, wa an nutahhira amwalana bi ikhraj az-zakawat, وأن نتقرب إليك يا الله فيه من الأعمال الزاكية. اللهم امحق ذنوبنا مع إمحاق هلال رمضان. اللهم زين أوقاته بطاعاتنا لك يا أرحم الراحمين. اللهم أعنا في نهاره على صيامه وفي ليله على الصلاة والتضرع إليك يا أرحم الراحمين. بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم. والعصر إن الإنسان لفي خسر إلا الذين آمنوا وعملوا الصالحات وتواصوا بالحق وتواصوا بالصبر وإلى الصلاة إن الصلاة تنهى عن الفحشاء والمنكر. والسلام عليكم ورحمة الله.